I'm pretty sure naka-encounter na kayo ng itong mga maliliit na bulate or nakakadiri, madumi, nagkukos pa ng mga sakit. So, tinatawag natin na nematodes. So, sila yung pag-uusapan natin kung ano nga ba talaga yung parte nila sa mundo aside from being a peste, maduduming nila lang, disgusting. So, this will be our topic outline na pag-uusapan natin sa loob ng 10 minuto. Disclaimer, lahat ng source natin na ginamit natin dito is kinuha sa Invertebrate Biology book ni Brusca, and I will only give you the general knowledge about the nematoda given the mere fact that the given span of time discussion is very short, so expect na we will not delve deeper to the specifics. Rather, I will only provide you the general knowledge about nematodes. Nematoda is nanggaling sa Greek term na nema and odes na nangangahulugang thread and resembling respectively. So putting them together, we can say that it means thread-like worms, or mas kinasanayan natin yung roundworms. They belong to the Nematoida along with the Nematomorpha. So, hindi na natin yun itatouch. We will only focus on the Nematoda. And yung Nematoida, yung supergroup na kinabibilongan ng Nematoda is also nabibilong sa grupo ng mga animals na tinatawag natin ecdysozoa, which means these are the organisms that are able to undergo ecdysis or molting. Saan ba natin nakikita yung mga nematoda? So, may discrete ba na location or environment kung saan natin sila makikita? The answer is no. They are nearly ubiquitous. Kumbaga, yes, it means makikita natin sila almost everywhere sa lahat ng forms of habitats, may it be in aquatic, marine or freshwater, sa terrestrial, sa mga polar region, and so on and so forth. So, they are regarded as one of the most diverse animals on the planet. In fact, their abundance can span up to 3 million per square meter, right, within a specific area. So, yung physiology nila when it comes to their anatomy and morphology, they are tripoblastic, bilateral, and unsegmented. So, familiar na tayo dito sa tripoblastic, 3 layer, bilateral symmetry, can divide their bodies into equal mirrored parts, and unsegmented. Hindi sila metameric na organism. Yung body cavity din nila is can be pseudocoelom to acoelom depending on the organism. Very variable yung mga nematoda. Yung size nila is can span up to 80 micrometer to 8 meters. For example, yung pinaka-smallest na 80 micrometer is the Hapalomus minutus, and yung pinaka-longest na 8 meters na tinatawag natin Plastenonemma gigantissima. Tapos, isang amazing characteristics that they exhibit is that they exhibit utility, which means measured, kumbaga, there are fixed number of somatic cells sa isang adult species, sa isang nematoda. For example, yung Sinorhabditis elegans is meron silang 959 somatic cells sa isang adult na hermaphrodite na Sinorhabditis. So, makikita natin yung pattern na to sa lahat ng hermaphrodite na adult Sinorhabditis elegans. The body wall and location. So, paano na-associate si body wall kay locomotion? To begin with, yung mga worms, particularly nematoda, is wala silang limbs to move for locomotion. So, ginagamit lang nila talaga is yung body nila. For example, yung cuticle nila. Makikita natin yung cuticle nila. Ito yung outer layer. Pinaka-outermost layer. Yun lang. And then yung epidermis is ito yung what lies beneath the cuticle. This could be cellular or syncytial. Kapag sinabi natin cellular, these are separated cells independent from one another. Kapag syncytial, these are cells na we can interpret it as maraming cell na nag-fuse together to form a single cell. So these multiple cell sharing a single cytoplasm. Tapos yung musculature ng nematoda is they only have the longitudinal musculature. For example, if ito yung body plan nila, papunta dito yung shape ng muscle nila. Walang pa-circular, walang pa-ikot. Makita din natin kung paano na-divide yung itong mga muscle mga muscles, longitudinal muscle into 4 quadrant. If titingnan natin, hindi natin siya masyadong makikita. Pero if you look closely, meron talagang apat na divided talaga into 4 quadrants. If you see, the top part of the circle is actually divided into right and left, and the same goes sa baba na can be also divided by right and left. Titingnan natin mga ayos dyan sa baba. Yun nga, yung cuticle nila is ito yung outermost part of their body, and mayroon kanya-kanyang patterns. May mga ridges, mga scali. So this actually is the key to their movement. Tapos sa digestive system naman nila is meron silang digestive system na fully expand, complete. Meron silang oral and aboral, polarized yung body nila, may oral and aboral. So yung oral structure nila is arranged radially, parang radially and in a symmetrical pattern as makikita natin sa diagram na to. Tapos some of the plant parasite na mga nematodes is meron talaga silang specialized structure na stylet na parang straw-like structure siya na ginagamit nila na pang-pierce sa isang structure or organ or a cell, tapos isa-suck out nila yung content nito. About naman sa circulatory and respiratory system nila, wala po silang ganun. So yung respiration and circulation sa kanila doesn't occur. Pero tama nga ba yung statement na to? So we'll see mamaya. They lack the discrete circulatory or respiratory system. Tama. Wala silang circulatory system, wala silang respiratory system. So, going back to the question, tama nga ba na circulation and respiration doesn't occur? Well, for me, this is not entirely true. Because their circulation is nakarely sila sa, kung babalikan natin yung pseudocoelom nila, yung blastocele nila, it contains a fluid kung saan dito napupunta yung mga digestive materials, for example, yung food nila. And as they move, kumbaga, di ba, nagko-contract sila and para makamove sila. So, dito, nagkakaroon ng mixing, circulation, distribution of these food materials along the body. So, hindi na nila kailangan ng circulation. So, yun na yung circulation moment na nangyayari. May nangyayari bang respiration? Meron pa rin. Pero, they occur in a simple diffusion. So in short, meron paling circulation, merong respiration, pero different mechanism as we know from us. Okay, so sa excretory system naman nila is, meron silang unique excretory system na hindi same sa mga advanced animal. Napaka-simple lang sa kanila. It is composed of two cells na tinatawag nating Rennet cells or Rennet glands na ito yung set ng cell na to is para silang collecting tubules na kapag kailangan na nilang i-excrete yung waste nila is dito mako-collect and dito i-collect ng Rennet cells or Rennet glands and ilalabas siya to their Rennet gland or pore kung saan dito na-excrete yung waste materials. So, meron silang nerve cords. If meron tayong notochord and spinal cord. Well, sa kanila, they have nerve cord. Yung epidermis form longitudinal cords housing the dorsal and ventral nerve strands. So, ito yung parang, kumbaga is comparable sa notochord or spinal cord ng isang organism, for example, sa atin. Tapos, meron neuromuscular connection din, pero ito yung unique sa kanila kasi yung connection of the muscle arms extend to the nerve cords instead of the other way around. So, itong tinatawag natin na cephalic sense organ is actually amphids. Itong amphids na to is located on the anterior part of their body, kumbaga sa head region, although wala silang head. Tapos, meron din tayong tinatawag na caudal sense organs na located posteriorly sa kanilang body. So, tinatawag natin itong phasmid. So, ito yung makikita natin sa diagram, yung placement na tinatawag natin na amphids and phasmids and relatively all these nervous sensory organs nila. So, the reproduction, nagre-reproduce din sila, may life cycle din sila as a typical life characteristic. Nematodes are typically gonoristic, which means separate dito yung sexes nila. May male na nematodes, may female na nematodes. And however, there are also some cases na they are hermaphrodites. Kumbaga is they possesses both both gonads present in male and female, so they are both male and female, and they can also self-fertilize. Tapos yung sperm din nila actually is very interesting kasi wala silang cilia. So nagmo-move lang sila through amoeboid motion, yung through their false feet. So not the typical sperm you'll see. Sabi ko nga, ito yung challenge dito. May utili kasi na nangyayari. Fixed, kumbaga, yung somatic or body cells na meron sa kanila. So, paano pa sila lalaki if may fixed point? So, nakarely lang yung growth nila in diameter sa kung paano mag-grow yung individual cells. Doon lang. Tapos, itong, yung development cycle nila, yung growth nila is actually have four stages of cuticular molding. So, kumbaga is, kapag yung isang phase na to is, lumaki na sila, kailangan nilang mag-shade kasi yung cuticle nila is hindi nakaka-keep up or fix yung nila. Kaya kailangan nilang i-shade yun. So, all throughout their life, they can mold up to 4 times. And regarding naman sa dormancy, they can enter a phase kung saan tinatawag tayo kasing cryptobiosis kung saan nagiging dormant sila. Kumbaga sa seed ng isang plant is hindi sila tumutubo, nagde-deactivate yung metabolism nila and magsisprout lang sila if desirable na yung environment. Nangyayari ito kasi kapag scarce yung food, walang nutrients, walang water, and it's actually a survival tactics para sa kanila. These diagrams na makikita natin sa presentation is, it will show you the placement, anatomical orientation, kung saan natin makikita itong mga gonads or sex organs nila. And kung makikita natin sa isa pa is, ito yung pinakitang mating, nagme-mate na female and male na nematode. So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na meron kahit paano, meron pa rin sila silbi. They are a nodal organism now. They participate in several analysis like sa field of genetics, development of biology, neurosciences. Ginagamit sila as a model organism, genetic model organism. And they are also detritivores, which means they are decomposers, they are scavengers, and some are herbivores that possesses stylet kanina and they can also be a predator or a prey. So nagbe-benefit pa rin yung iba't ibang organism sa ecosystem. It actually balances the ecosystem. And aside from this, they can be in a parasitic lifestyle. For example is yung makikita natin sa mga ascarids, which is human pathogenic sila. And yung mga hookworms, ayan, yung mga human pathogenic yan sila. And also, yung mga root knot na mga nematodes. So, ito yung nakaka-harm sa mga plants actually, and mga pests regarding as pests. So, these are just some of the major examples of the ecological roles. And actually, meron pa silang different ecological roles. For example, they also participate in nutrient cycling, nitrogen fixation, and that actually makes them useful aside from being pests at it.
Here's one of my realization at the end of this discussion. At the end of the day, nematodes are just quiet reminder that the smallest lives often carry the heaviest judgment. They just slip through the soil and through our textbook, usually noticed only when they cause trouble, labeled as pests, parasites, destroyers. Yet, beneath that reputation is a world of unseen labor, recycling nutrients, balancing ecosystem, shaping the life in ways they will never be thanked for. Maybe that's their story, existing in shadows, essential but uncelebrated. They are the creatures we love to hate, but we can't live without. And in their persistent, invisible work, there is a strange kind of resilience, a lesson about being underestimated, misunderstood, and still choosing to matter anyway. Amazing.